How are you doing, Heather?
I'm okay.
Just
I've been
okay?
better. Yeah.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I feel like since quarantine has started and the whole pandemic has really begun, I've just lost a lot of interest in um, things that I used to love to do and just overall lackluster for life.
Mm.
Not interested in reaching out to friends,
Mm.
kind of wanting to isolate myself. Um,
Going back to the lackluster, does that... Sorry, my dog is in the background. Does that involve hanging out with your friends?
A little bit. Yeah. I think that things that I used to find exciting with friends, activities I used to find enjoyable, I'm not really caring to do with them anymore. Spending quality time,
Mm.
doing things that,
Were you doing that a lot before the quarantine?
yeah, I tried to a little bit, but I think it's easy for me to isolate myself sometimes and
Mm.
kind of separate myself from people.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is the isolation has kind of been the thing to really help you, bring you back to that state of isolation that you like to go in sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I can imagine it's probably hard to get out of.
It is. It is. And I think since I'm such an introvert, that plays a big part in it. But I also just, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to find the energy and the motivation to just um, invest in my friendships.
Mm. You're lacking a little bit of that motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the email that you sent me before you came to counseling, you were telling me a little bit about how you're in those groups where on campus, you're flyering and all that stuff. I mean, that takes a little bit of socialization from someone who considers themselves an introvert.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're a little bit of a chameleon. Could I say that? You can.
Yeah, it's definitely easy for me to um, wear a mask and kind of put on have this facade that I'm not necessarily this um, more, I don't know, just keeping to myself kind of person. I try and come off a lot more social than I feel sometimes.
Yeah. Um, when was the last time that you felt kind of more whole? Because I hear that you're saying that, you used to hang out with friends a lot and now you're kind of isolating yourself. I can imagine that feels lonely,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when was the last time that you didn't feel that loneliness? Was it pre-COVID? Because it kind of seems like it's maybe going back a little bit farther.
Yeah. Yeah.
When's the last time you felt that happiness?
Yeah. It's been a while. I think just transitioning out of college and having such a packed schedule and having all these commitments and things that I kind of, I don't know, these things I once loved doing now just I don't really know how to.
What did you like to do?
Just hang out with friends, go to the beach,
Nice.
play soccer.
Oh, soccer, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're athletic as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play sports.
Okay.
I enjoy sports. Just more like artsy things, writing a lot.
Okay, so it seems like you're a little multifaceted here. Because you're saying, you're a soccer player, you hang out with a lot of people, then you like to do art. So it seems like you have a lot of different interests.
Yeah.
And things like that. Did all of those separate things, you feel like that brought you happiness, just doing those things?
Yeah, they did. They used to. I used to really enjoy. They used to make me feel very fulfilled and
Mm,
um, like I had a lot of strengths and that I was, you know, using them and
mm,
but now I don't feel as interested in doing those things. Those things don't bring me as much life anymore, and I'm not sure if it's the season of just COVID and having to be, in like such limited contact with people as it
yeah.
is. But,
Do you live alone right now?
um, not at the moment. I live with my best friend,
Okay.
and we have two dogs.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Tell me a little
So,
bit more about that. How's that going?
it's been the best living experience that
Really?
I could have ever asked for, and better than all of my years prior living.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
which I didn't expect.
yeah.
So that's been really enjoyable the past few months.
Mhm. You know, that's really neat because you have your best friend, you have those dogs too, which is a really good place to be in for such a pandemic such as this. You know, we don't know when it
Yeah.
ends, and to have you said it's your best friend, so I'm assuming this is someone you can trust in, that you
Hmm.
can count on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Does that help a little bit with that loneliness?
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I forget sometimes too that I do have people that I can reach out to, and I do have people that I should be investing more into the relationships because it's so easy for me to just be at home
Mm,
and be with my best friend and our dogs
yeah.
instead of feeling like I want to put in the energy to, keep in touch with other people.
Yeah. So, from hearing what you're saying, it seems like you have that best friend and you have that relationship where you feel like you can trust in and all of that, but it seems a little bit like you're kind of like the macro aspects of your life, the systems like outside of that personal relationship, you don't I'm assuming you're going to work and
Yeah. Hmm.
okay.
I do work. I work with kids at a school, and I'm with my grandpa often.
Okay.
But it's still, it's
Do you play soccer anymore?
no.
No.
I don't really play sports. I don't really work out.
Mm. Art?
No, not
No.
really. Not as much writing anymore. I used to do that a lot, write poetry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I
Nice.
also think it's a lack of inspiration too
Hmm.
right now, and feeling like things are kind of overall, there's not a whole lot to look forward to
Hmm.
during this time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's understandable. I felt similarly too with the pandemic and everything, and it is hard to find those things that bring us meaning. You
Hmm.
know, like you said, you can play soccer or you
Hmm.
can write poetry, but as a poet myself, I understand that, you know, your writing only goes so far. If you don't have that meaning, then there's no point at all because poetry is all about just creating something that has meaning. So it's,
Exactly.
you know, I
Hmm.
get that.
Yeah.
Sorry about my baby dog. Um, so here's what I propose to us. I think that now let me know if this sounds like something that you would be up for. But if we made maybe a little list of different things that just make you happy. Because to me, it seems like the problem that you're coming in with, the problem that you came in with was a little bit more focused on um, just feeling like, would you say like a lack of life?
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it seems like it goes a little bit deeper than, you know, doing activities.
Yeah.
While that all is, you know, fantastic, and doing those things over time can make you feel like you have meaning. I think that it sounds like you had a lot of light in life and talking about like before college and now after. It's kind of, would you say it's just kind of, you don't know what's happening?
Yeah, the path feels very unknown.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot.
So going back to what we were talking about, making goals, I think is important because you've even brought up a really good point. You can have all of these things going on in your life, these mesosystems of different like teams, or this like, overall system of having all of these things to look forward to. But if you don't have that meaning, especially for someone who's artistic like you, that can feel like you're lacking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially when we're talking about college, your relationship with God, things that you mentioned, would you say that those things are high on your list of what's meaningful?
Yeah.
Would those be things that you would categorize as bringing your life meaning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you, if 1 were the greatest and 5 were the maybe not least greatest, but a scale of great things, where would probably God align as far as bringing you value in your life?
I would say he's my first priority.
Your first priority?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Have you prioritized God at all?
I've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as much as I'd like to, though.
Do you time for God? Do you feel like that's helped bring you meaning?
Yeah, I would say so. I think times in my life where I've felt the most joy and the most meaning and motivation, all of that kind of comes secondary to putting God first. It's kind of like almost a byproduct of pursuing God and trying to find meaning from Him as well. So when I do that first, then everything else kind of comes naturally and aligns a lot more.
That's a powerful relationship in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think just hearing you, what you're saying is, if you prioritize that relationship, what does prioritizing that relationship look like to you? Because you say that you read the Bible in the morning. Is there more to that?
Yeah. I would like to set aside time in the morning and at night to just have prayer time, just quiet time to, like center myself and just be with Him. So.
Yeah. And it's good because you're already, halfway there to that goal because you do, spend time with Him in the morning, so you are trying, and I see that, do you normally do it every morning?
Yeah, I try to.
Around the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So accountability is not really an issue? Like you needing accountability, you're pretty good on?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty
good. Okay, yeah. So I think that prioritizing that relationship that you say that you have with God and really constructing a plan together. I propose that we could do that to make sure that you spend that time in the morning and at night. And over the next few weeks, maybe we can see if that has any influence or change on how you feel. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for meeting with me. Yeah.